curious, Ron.
What would you say is the issue of our time?
No question about it. Communism and the Soviet Union.
Get in the game. Run for office.
It's you!
I'm running for governor, and I would like your vote.
I forgot your name.
Do his initials help, or R?
Honey, Roy Rogers is here! And he's running for governor!
The movie Reagan is shooting to the top of the charts. The first full-length film about Reagan's life came out in theaters over the summer. But listen to this. Now sales for Blu-ray and digital are skyrocketing. Reagan beat out Spider-Man, Despicable Me, and even Lord of the Rings. The team that made Reagan is thanking Trump for the sales. They say his landslide victory is inspiring Americans to watch the movie. And the two Republicans are similar in a lot of ways. The film screenwriter said this: first and foremost, Reagan believed in America and Americans. I believe Trump feels the same. Reagan was, and Trump is, willing to fight for what they believed was right. And actor Robert Davi, who played Soviet Premier Leonid Brezhnev in the movie, says the film shows how Reagan was demonized just like Trump. Robert Davi himself is here right now. Robert, so you say that both Trump and Reagan were similar in the way they were demonized. What do you mean by that?
Well, not many people will remember, but I was around when Reagan was president, and prior to that, when he was president of the Screen Actors Guild at the tail end of that and governor of California. And the Hollywood community, much like today, there was a bit of a difference is because it was more balanced back then. You had more conservative, powerfully out front conservatives. But the left continued to demonize Reagan. They called him dumb, stupid. The Star Wars defense that he had, that idea, which was like the Iron Dome of Israel today. Every step that Reagan did, they called him out of touch. And Reagan was red, white, and blue like Donald Trump. And I see very similar things that happened. I wrote an article on Breitbart the day Donald Trump announced that he was like Ronald Reagan, because it was about what is good for America. Now, Reagan was also a liberal in his bleeding heart liberal days in the early 1940s, and changed to conservative later on when he realized the threat that communism had in America, and it still has today in different forms. We call it the progressive left, which, as Sharon Stone and Alec Baldwin refuse to understand, they talk about adolescence. Voters are adolescent. Well, the adolescent doesn't understand or grow with the times. And you have, as you said earlier in your segment, more people voted for Donald Trump. So what is the disconnect? And that's part of the big disconnect, Kaylee, is they don't understand where the American voter is. There is an elite status. She talked about flying and not traveling and not this. Again, out of touch. Reagan was a grassroots populist, as Donald Trump, of course, is. Mm-hmm. And both have peace through strength. As we see, you spoke with Mike Huckabee earlier, the Governor Huckabee, about what's happening in Israel now with Hezbollah, what's happening, hopefully, it'll happen over there in Ukraine and Russia. I have a wife who's from Estonia, and the Estonians are frightened. They're frightened that they might have to migrate to Finland and other places because of the upheaval of Joe Biden and what happened over there. And I think Trump, again, is like Reagan because he understands the threats to America. And it's America first, not America last. You know, the film...
Robert Davi, that is perfectly said. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the film, if you look at what the critics have said, 98% of the people that watched Reagan loved the film. 18 critics, it's got an 18 on Rotten, a low rating on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics, from the left-wing critics. That shows you the divide right there in terms of reality and how they did this in the media, how they portrayed Trump in the media, and how they portray Reagan. Very similar. The assassination attempts on both men, the fight that he had, but the difference was you had a partner. Reagan had a partner in Tip O'Neill.
Well, Robert Davi, I understand you were in Palm Beach at the watch party and you were elated at Trump's reelection. So that is great news. Robert, thank you for that great analysis.